Hey everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where I come up with healthier options of things that you love to eat. Now, it's a holiday edition, and of course, I know you've been going to parties and having a great time, and sometimes you start thinking, wow, how am I going to justify all these cocktails when I'm trying really hard to eat a healthier nutrition and do a healthier lifestyle? So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna give you a couple of options. It's kind of the eat this, not that. You can still have some great things to drink, but you just have to make a little bit better choices, and maybe you have to make them on your own. So I've got 4 today. We're gonna start out with one of my favorites. Now, I will warn you, I'm having a hard time finding the right ingredients for these, for this particular drink these days, but if you get on Amazon, you can find them, at least for now. So right now I don't have the sugar-free option, but this is apple cider. They do make it. Again, I'm not sure what's going on, if something with the supply chain, but I cannot find these in the stores, the sugar-free option, and so you're gonna have to find it on Amazon. So it's super easy. I'm just gonna make the cider packet to the specified directions. So we're making a caramel apple cider. The first time I ever had that was at Starbucks, and I really loved it, but of course it is full of sugar. So came up with a healthier version. Please use the sugar-free option. Okay, I'm going to add the water to it and mix it up. This is a super, super easy option, but if you're cold and you've been out looking at Christmas lights or sledding, I don't know if you've had any snow. We got a smidgen the other day, but you want to warm up, this is a great option for you. So I'm just gonna mix that up. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of one of my favorite tools, all right? This is just the kind of sugar-free syrup that you would put in coffee. This is caramel flavor because it's my favorite, and it's the one that actually tastes like it's supposed to. Don't do the chocolate ones, they're not very good. I'm just gonna add that to my mix. Okay, you could also add a little bit of cinnamon or a cinnamon stick to it. It would taste amazing. And I was able to find sugar-free Reddi Wip. Now, again, that just because it's sugar-free does not mean it's healthy, but it is a better option than if you're doing full sugar. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. Again, I probably add just a little bit of cinnamon to the top, and there you go. You have some hot caramel apple cider, super simple. Again, good luck finding the sugar-free version of it. It's a little frustrating, but so that's our first option. All right, next we're gonna make some sugar-free hot cocoa. Now, one of my staples that I like to use for most options when it comes to drinks or even for desserts is a liquid stevia. Now, this is a non-flavored that I just got at Walmart. Not my favorite store, but we use what we can get. And it's going to be in the rest of our recipes for today, the rest of the 3 that we're gonna do. So we're gonna make some hot cocoa right now. Again, if you love cocoa, if you love chocolate, this might be the thing for you. All right, so I'm gonna take 7 ounces of almond milk. I'm going to microwave that. I'm gonna throw it in a bowl, and I'm gonna add some extra ingredients to that, including some unsweetened cocoa powder, okay? Again, your choice as to what brand, doesn't really matter to me. I'm a little snobbish when it comes to chocolate, but I'm gonna take 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. And again, I like to use stuff that I have on hand, so if that's an option, that is what I do, and this is what I had for the moment. I do like to get the little more expensive Dutch processed, but again, this is what I have on hand, so this is what we're gonna use. All right, so to that, I'm actually gonna add 2 tablespoons of grass-fed collagen powder, believe it or not. Now, this one's actually a chocolate flavor. You can get a non-flavored, totally up to you. You can also use a little bit of MCT oil and make this a healthy option, a truly healthy option. So I'm gonna add that to my mix, making a great big mess as I go because I'm really good at that. All right, 2 tablespoons of that. Now this, like I said, this is a chocolate flavored collagen powder. All right, to that I'm gonna add a ½ teaspoon of vanilla extract. I buy this, at Costco in bulk because I use so much of it, especially during the holiday season. So ½ teaspoon of that. I'm actually just gonna use my 4th teaspoon and do 2 of them. Okay, and also a little bit of the liquid stevia, right? Because again, it really is to taste, so you might have to taste it and then add a little bit more if you're unhappy with the flavoring, but just a little squirt. Now, again, you don't need a lot because stevia is a very, very sweet option, so make sure that you don't overdo it. And to that, I'm gonna just take my immersion blender here and see how big of a mess I can make, because I'm, again, really good at that. I just wanna get it all really mixed in well because I don't want clumpy hot cocoa. All right, here we go. Take a second. Again, you can do this in a pot on the stove if you choose to. I'm not being lazy, I just don't want to. I'm just gonna use the microwave. All right, so I'm gonna put this in a mug. And again, I'm gonna add a little bit of that sugar-free Reddi Wip to it to make it just nice and pretty. You could also use a little bit of chocolate shavings on here, dark chocolate shavings, which would be super fun. Okay, and there you go. You've got some hot chocolate. So again, if you've been outside, you're cold, got a couple options for you there. All right, now the next one that we're going to do, for those of you that love eggnog, now I'm kind of a maybe, sometimes, maybe not. I kind of have to be in the mood for that. Sometimes I like eggnog, but most of the time I don't. But if you are an eggnog fan, we've got an option for you. So this is an eggless eggnog. It is sugar-free, super simple. You might have to adjust the recipe just a little bit for your taste and for how thick that you want it, but it is pretty simple. So we're gonna take 2 cups of unsweetened almond. Okay, sorry. We're having some technical difficulties here. All right, we're gonna take 2 cups. Actually, I'm gonna do a half version. Let's do 1 cup of the almond milk, unsweetened almond milk. Okay, I'm gonna put it in a bowl. Okay, to that, I'm gonna add a dash of nutmeg, a little bit of the liquid stevia. Yep. Okay, a little bit of the vanilla extract. You can measure it out. It's a 1/4 teaspoon, but again, I'm just gonna eyeball it today. All right, and to that, I'm going to add some sugar-free vanilla instant pudding. Again, remember, it's still processed food. It still has carbs. But we're gonna use the sugar-free version. Our goal here is just to make it nice and thick. Nice and thick, and so that will do it for us. So I'm going to add approximately 3 tablespoons, but honestly, I'm gonna eyeball this too, because I want it fairly thick, but again, it's totally up to you as to how thick you want that. I'm gonna mix that, and actually what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put it in the fridge for about an hour, give or take, and just let that thicken up. Put it in a glass, add a little bit more nutmeg, maybe even some of my Reddi Wip, and I'm good to go. So if you are an eggnog fan, here's a healthier version, all right? Sorry, there's no room in it. All right, and last but not least, my favorite, and this actually turned out really well, so I'm super happy with it. We are going to make a peppermint martini, or a candy cane martini. Now, again, if you are not drinking this season, that's fine. You can actually leave out the alcohol. It doesn't have a lot in it, so you know, if you're gonna make something, the problem with a lot of cocktails for the holidays is that they are full of sugar and they are really, especially unhealthy for you because of that. This one turned out super great. I'm really happy with it. I tasted it, right? I'm not always a big fan of peppermint, but it actually worked out. All right, so I'm gonna take 1/2 cup of unsweetened almond milk. Now I'm actually using a vanilla flavored on this one, just because again, for what I'm doing, we're adding some vanilla vodka to it, so I might as well use the vanilla almond milk. So 1/2 cup, okay? And actually before I do that, because it's all set up, because I had some great help on this, I'm going to take a cup. We're gonna try this. I haven't actually tried it. I'm gonna dip it in some water, and I have some sugar-free candy cane pieces. Then I'm just gonna dip the rim in. So let's see how this works. If you're good at this, that might work really well for you. Oh, it actually worked. Impressive. Sometimes things work out. All right. Probably could have been a little bit better at that, but that's just kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna throw some ice in there. Okay, so I've got the 1/2 cup that I'm gonna add to my shaker. 1/2 cup of the vanilla unsweetened almond milk. To that, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Okay, so again, it is gonna be a creamy cocktail, which I actually like. So I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons. Now, in the recipe on Pinterest, they did call this a keto cocktail. So again, if you are on keto, although you know I'm not a huge fan of keto diets, this will work for you. Again, it just has the alcohol in it, so you have to count that, and alcohol works a little differently in your system than other carbohydrates. Okay, so to that I'm also gonna add 1/4 of a teaspoon, and I gotta find everything here, of peppermint extract. Now be careful not to overdo that because it ends up being a little much. All right, so 1/4 teaspoon of that, and you can definitely smell it. Okay, and I recommend the peppermint, not the mint. Be careful not to mess that up because it does taste totally different. I'm also gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of my vanilla extract. There we go. I'm going to add 1 ounce-ish of the vanilla vodka. This is my favorite. It just is, if I'm gonna drink, that's usually what I drink, with a little bit of either Diet Dr. Pepper or Diet Soda. I just don't drink very often. So I'm gonna add that to my shaker. Okay, a little bit of the liquid stevia. That's it. That's all I need. Again, to taste, you might have to mess with the recipe just a little bit. I'm gonna shake it up, put it in my really cool glass. It looks lovely. Now, I did have a martini glass. It's had some technical difficulties of its own, and it did not make it to the party. So, I'm just gonna use my glass. You can find the sugar-free candy canes or peppermint candies. I just found them at Walmart. Oh, look how pretty that is. It turned out really, really great. All right, so there you go. You got 4 recipes that will work well for your holiday parties and for your holiday season. Merry Christmas, everybody, and cheers.